At the scene where Renee Good lost her life at the hands of an immigration agent, shock lingers with the flowers and candles that have been left in the snow.
I think this is a turning point. I think this is a huge turning point that people see on film an unarmed legal observer being shot for trying to drive away and escape from people who said leave.
It's like this, brutality is brutality. I don't care what color you are, what sex you are, what age you are, brutality is brutality. And I just can't stand to see someone brutalized unfairly, gone, and no one is apparently going to suffer any consequences.
37-year-old US citizen Renee, described by her family as compassionate and forgiving, was a mother of 3 and devout Christian. Today, the White House doubled down on its determination to paint her as a violent attacker.
I can believe that her death is a tragedy while also recognizing that it's a tragedy of her own making and a tragedy of the far left who has marshaled an entire movement, a lunatic fringe, against our law enforcement officers.
Our analysis of multiple videos by witnesses of her shooting suggests a different story. Here we see Renee Good's maroon SUV stopped and an agent walking to the front of the car as he's filming on his phone. From a different angle, agents from another car are heard shouting for the driver to get out. One of them grabs at the door handle and reaches inside. The SUV reverses and turns, attempting to leave. At this instant, the agent in front of the car is seen grabbing his gun. A moment later, the driver appears to be turning her tyres to avoid him. He then fires a shot from close range, continuing to shoot as the car drives past and crashes. The agent who apparently fired the shots has been named tonight as Jonathan Ross. He's then seen calmly walking away, asking his colleagues to ring 911.
Can I go check a pulse? No.
In this footage, a man who says he's a doctor is prevented from going to her aid.
I get it. Just give us a second.
This shocked resident told us what she saw.
And there was a neighbor who said he was a physician, and he was asking to go to the car, and he was asking to take a pulse and provide first aid, and the ICE agents wouldn't let him near the car.
And so she was given no first aid at that point?
Yeah, I didn't actually even know she was there at first. It's something you don't expect to happen in your neighborhood ever, and you hope something like this never happens. Yeah, it was horrible.
The shooting that took place in this city comes amidst a backdrop of increasing unease about the tactics and impunity being used by immigration agents out here in force today, facing demonstrators calling for the arrest of the shooter of Renee Good. This evening, as a family and community grieves its loss, in Trump's America, even a situation as tragic as this is being used to divide.
Well, we can return now, actually, to Romilly in Minneapolis to pick up with that thought about what goes on next, Romilly, with such entrenched positions taking on the killing that you were reporting on a few moments ago.
Well, Julie, they're literally building barricades, if you can see behind me here, lighting fires and digging in. There is a determination amongst those I've spoken to keep these protests peaceful. But tonight, the governor of Minnesota has ordered in the National Guard to support local police as protests threaten to flare up again. There is real anger and despair here that 5 years after the death of George Floyd, just a mile from here, that the city is mourning another unnecessary death. And this time, with those in power apparently determined to prejudge the outcome of any investigation. And on that investigation, the local state level investigation has already been abandoned. There will be an investigation led by the FBI, but there's very little faith here that that will get to the truth.
A detailed picture of just how this incident unfolded is starting to form. From what could have been an ordinary stop led to such a fatal outcome that has left a city and a country divided.
We've heard people debating whether this shooting was justified and what the reasons for the agent's actions might have been. But we're going to have a look now at what actually happened. We've edited together videos which were filmed by members of the public and posted online to look at the details. This is Portland Avenue. It's a long residential street in Minneapolis. Here, near the junction with East 34th Street, it's a leafy road with some sizable houses. As we first look at the scene, you can see the maroon-coloured Honda Pilot sitting across the road. Some of the other cars you can see nearby are federal vehicles used by ICE officers. There is already some hostility to the agents operating in Minneapolis, and you can hear some of the people in the street shouting and blowing whistles at them. It's here that we see the officers start to approach the maroon car, their vehicles pull alongside using sirens and flashing lights. We have footage from bystanders, but an agent appears to be filming what happens as well. Some of the accounts we've heard have claimed that Renee Nicole Good's car was blocking the officers in, but as you can see here, vehicles, including this silver-coloured car, are able to get past. These two officers get out of their vehicle and approach on foot. Before they get there, you can see the reversing lights come on, suggesting the car has already been put into reverse, ready to manoeuvre, before anyone is nearby. But we then see this officer reach for the driver's door handle and try to open the door. It appears to be locked, and it's at this point the car reverses. The car moves back just a few feet before it stops and the reversing lights extinguish. Now, this CCTV footage was obtained by CNN. In it, we see the agent that was filming earlier walk around the car and stand by the front driver's side wing. He draws his gun and aims it through the open window. At this point, just before the first shot is fired, he is standing to one side and the car is steering in the opposite direction. He continues to fire as the vehicle drives away from him. The official accounts that we've heard claim that these shots were fired in self-defence because the vehicle was about to drive into and potentially injure an officer. After the shots are fired, the maroon car continues along the road and eventually collides with this white car. Some of the bystanders rush towards the site of the collision. The officers eventually follow, but they prevent the public from approaching the car. One of them does, though, ask a colleague to call 911. This man asks if he can provide emergency care. He tells the officers that he is a doctor.
Can I go check a pulse?
No! Back up! Now!
I'm a physician!
I don't care!
This is now a potential crime scene. Despite that, though, several of the officers get in their cars and drive away. Paramedics eventually arrive, but they are not able to save Renee Nicole Good. David Harper, ITV News.